Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy. On Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Welcome to Inspired Conversations. I'm your host, Linda Joy, publisher of the beloved Aspire magazine and Intentional Life Mentor. You've been following this show for a long time, and you know I love talking about manifesting, crystals, transformation. Well, did you know that you can use crystals to amplify your wealth and abundance manifestations? Yes, you can. And today we're going to be speaking with Pamela Chen on this very topic. Pamela is a business, wealth, and money manifesting coach for powerful women who desire to have it all. She has inspired and mentored hundreds of high-achieving spiritual entrepreneurs and helping them tap into their unique soul purpose and create lucrative online businesses. She's also the creator of the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, Witchling Academy Tarot, Owl Tarot, coming out in 2023, and author of Enchanted Crystal Magic with Llewellyn Worldwide Publishing. When she's not writing or coaching, she loves to watch Korean drama, cuddle with her chickens, and eat spicy Cheeto puffs with avocado. Now that's a heck of a combination. Welcome, Pam.
Hi, Linda. Thanks so much for having me on.
No, I am so excited about this conversation.
Me too.
One of the things you have been really passionate about spreading this message to empower other entrepreneurs to tap into these energies. So what led you, I always love a backstory, like what led you to start tapping into how entrepreneurs can use crystals so they can own their CEO, boss energy?
Mm-hmm. So I love using physical tools to help us bring our intentions, which is really non-tangible, into, our reality. So I think we don't need physical tools. We don't need crystals. We don't need tarot cards. We don't need spells or candles to manifest anything in our lives. It really is all intention. But what I love about using crystals and all of the other magical tools is that it gives someone more of a certainty that they're creating something in real life. So that puts more power, that puts more energy into what they are bringing into their lives. So crystals is something that I've always been drawn to. And I had a really magical moment where my business partner that I go shopping with crystals at for our crystal shop, she gave me my first Citrine crystal. And at that time I was still doing phone readings. This is back in like 2008. And I put this crystal on top of my computer because that's where I get like my appointments. And that week I had 10 extra clients come in that I didn't know where they came from. And when we figured it out, it was that crystal. So at that moment, we kind of knew, wow, this actually works.
Well, I'm one of those that I believe in magical manifesting, and I use a lot of what you said, intention. Mm-hmm. I'm all about intentional life, intentional business.
Yes.
So I love like how you realized that crystal magnified your intentions.
It does. And it's, crystals are really gorgeous. They're so sparkly. They're so gorgeous. So it's easier for someone who hasn't maybe worked with magic or manifesting to be like, ooh, this is a beautiful crystal. Let me hold it. Let me keep it with me. Than having to go really deep into studying manifesting, right? Laws of attraction. But they can hold the crystal and have the crystal with them, and it'll just automatically help them with their energy and attracting in their desires.
And this is for beginners all the way up, right? So what are some of the stones that are best for creative business owners like me? Like, I'm a creative visionary. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. What stones would you recommend for someone like me?
So creative, I love working with the fluorite because it's also known as a genius stone. So it works everything with the mind. And Herkimer actually just came up for you specifically, Herkimer diamond. So that stone is very high vibe, and I think it will help you connect to, higher level realms, and you can receive the downloads for your clients, for your business, and it just helps clear the way, open the roads for success.
Well, I love it because fluorite's one of my favorites. So
Oh,
yes, I have plenty of that. And I have a goddess nook built into my office.
wow.
Yeah, when we built our house 2 years ago, my honey built me this gorgeous alcove goddess nook. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's my like sacred space. But I even gifted my granddaughter a beautiful piece of fluorite. So it's funny that that really resonates. I do not, though, have the Herkimer. So guess what? I'll be shopping.
Yes, Herkimer. I love Herkimer. They're really fun to play with.
And so, like, what are some of the basics? Like, if someone was coming to you for the first time, or maybe hadn't picked up your book yet,
Mhm,
the book Enchanted Crystal Magic,
mhm.
what are some of the basics of manifesting in the quantum field that you can share with a beginner who may be listening?
Sure. So it's really having a really clear intention on what you desire. So many times my clients or my students comes to me and they want to manifest abundance. But what exactly does that mean? Right? Abundance means anything to everyone. It could be you traveling around the world. It could be living in a beautiful dream home. It could be having a family. It could be building an empire, right? So you have to get really clear on what you desire, so that desire is what we are going to align to. Because if we don't know what we want, then we're just really aligning to nothing. So once we get really clear on what we desire, we can align to that desire. And what that means is we can change the way that we think, with the way that we feel, the way that we act towards who we want to be. And when we embody, and this is where the embodiment piece comes in that everybody talks about, when we show up in our daily lives as that person who already has the thing that they desire, then you're not in separation and you are connecting deeper into the quantum field, right? That timeline of which you already have the thing, and that collapses the time to when you have the thing. So every decision that you make from the person that you already have it, the closer you get to your big dreams.
Oh, yeah. I teach my clients this. It's so important.
Yes.
We have to embody that which we desire as if it's already here, because really it is.
Hmm.
We are just haven't drawn it to us. So, but I love the way you described it. It was so beautiful,
Thank
and
you.
it's so true because I love to say, "Oh, I'm a master manifestor." And my friends will say, "You're a master manifestor." I said, "But it wasn't always that way."
Hmm.
And and now, things have changed over the last 30 years since I got on the path. I see the messengers like you who are like, this is simpler than it looks. You can do this. I love that you empower people with the simplicity of your message, right? So that anyone can relate to what you're sharing and say, I can do it. Me too.
I think that's actually a belief, and the belief really creates our perception and it really creates our reality. So if you believe that it's easy to change, if you believe that work could be easy, life could be easy and fun, I like to add the and fun in it, then it could be. It's all really what we believe in. And a lot of times it is our conscious mind that wants something, but our unconscious mind, which I call the inner system, if our inner system, which is like past programmings from when we were all the way when we were born, even probably before that, and if our inner system isn't on board with what we want, then it's probably not going to happen. So that's why we do a lot of the inner work, so we can reprogram, recode our inner system, our energy, so that our belief is exactly aligned to what we desire.
Yes. And what made you start working specifically with, spiritual, powerful entrepreneurs? Like, was there a pivot point for you, or was this something you were always passionate about?
There was. I was teaching magic and crystals, candles. I was teaching magic, energy, and I went to this NLP retreat certification, and everyone there was an entrepreneur, and I made really good friends. They're still my friends now, and at that time they're like, I need help with my business. Everybody was pretty new at this time. I think it was 5-6 years ago, and I've taken a lot of business courses, online business courses, like a lot. So I knew things, I just haven't really implemented them. So as I was talking to them at the house, I helped two of them. One had $100,000 launch, another had a $400,000 launch, and I helped her create her program. And so after that, my business partner at that time was like, we need to teach business because look what this is a gift, and look what you just did for your friends. And I was actually in the I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough to teach business because we weren't making money in our business yet. I think at the time we were making maybe only $2,000 a month in our business. And I was still working a, full-time job. And so I didn't think I was good enough, but I got over it because intuition was like, no, do it. So we started teaching spiritual entrepreneurs, and that just launched our business. And really, that was our niche, that was our brand. And when you're doing something and that leads you to abundance, then that's your purpose. Because if you are on your purpose, if you are on your mission, then the universe is going to reward you with abundance.
Oh, I found that to be so true in my own life too. And I tried to tell the clients is follow the spiritual breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Because the universe is always trying to guide you. And I say, they're off, some entrepreneurs, and we all have this. They, chase shiny object syndrome. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did you make your most money last year? They're like, well, on this program. I go, but you're chasing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
The divine was showing you, whoa, there's some magic here. Put some energy and intention and love and nurturing into that and grow it. And the universe will rise up to meet you.
Yes.
And sounds like that's your belief system too, is watch for the spiritual breadcrumbs.
Exactly. I love what you call it. And I think one thing that for me, it's a mistake that a lot of people make is they think that staying in alignment is like super easy and flow like all the time, which is actually not true. Because if you are going to evolve, if you are going to ascend and grow, then you're going to be asked to do a lot of uncomfortable things to get out of your comfort zone. So you're not always going to instantly love what you are doing, being called to take that action. You actually will feel scared, uncomfortable at first, right? Stepping into it. But once you get into it, you'll find that, wow, yeah, I was meant to do this.
It's so true. And I can't wait to dive deeper into this conversation. We're going to take a quick break. I'm with Pamela Chen of magicalpam.com. We'll be right back.
This is OTRFM, part of the IOM radio network.
Inspiration for a woman's soul. Aspire Magazine, inspiring and supporting women on the path of self-discovery. Claim your free digital subscription today, which includes access to thousands of dollars of personal development bonus gifts from Team Inspiration partners. Claim your Aspire Magazine subscription today at subscribetoaspire.com.
Hey America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, The advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Hi everyone, this is Shay Parker, the host of Best of the Best, which airs live right here on IOM Radio every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm super excited to bring you expert guest hosts, spiritual discussions, free psychic readings, and so much more. I can promise that you will not want to miss this one-of-a-kind, fun, yet touching, down-to-earth show. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on OTR-FM. This is Shay Parker, and I can't wait to see you there.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Welcome back, my friend. You're listening to Inspired Conversations. With me today is Magical Pam, Pamela Chen, a business, wealth, and money manifesting coach for powerful women who desire to have it all. So, I've been working, we're in that same energy field. Like, I love working with heart-centered, spiritual female entrepreneurs. I've been doing it for 30 years. I love it. That's my passion. The reason I use my media platform for women like you is because I believe there's so many messengers like you who are transforming the world with their message. And like when I first came across your message, I'm like, I have got to get this woman on the show. So I connected with your publicist and just love what you're doing to support female entrepreneurs on doing exactly what you had to do and I had to do, own our worth, right? Because
Yes.
I had to do the same thing. I had to own my worth. And Pamela, just to give you a little background, I started my first business just getting off welfare.
Wow.
30 years ago, I was a single mom, welfare mom, high school dropout, runaway. Talk about having some money stories, girl.
Right.
I had some that I had to shed. And what else you said was so beautiful that if people say it's easy breezy, no, I've had depths of despair in business. I've had it all, lost it all, and grew it all again. But I had to go through that journey to be where I am right now, spiritually and abundance mind. Have you noticed that on your journey too?
I definitely have. Yes, there are. And I look at it, things do happen. And a lot of what I teach is it's just a speed bump in your road. Like it's your road to your destination. If you are driving from point A to point B and you set your GPS, which is your intuition, and you start going, say you have an appointment, you don't just stop if you come to a speed bump or traffic, right? You keep going, you follow your GPS and you get to your destination somehow. And, if things come up, and everything's going to come up, your entrepreneurial journey is probably going to be your largest spiritual path that you take. There's just so much we learn throughout this journey, and you're just going to have to keep going. If it was just so easy, but it could be easy and fun. Like you can choose to have it. That doesn't mean that things aren't going to come up. You'll just see it a different way. You'll see it as this is a challenge. This is something for me to learn from, and you'll grow so much in that. Yeah.
Well, it's so beautifully said, because I've always said, like, I started Aspire magazine. So I had a different business 30 years ago, and then Aspire magazine is now 16 years old. But yeah, Pamela, when I started, no publishing, no experience, no marketing, I kept receiving a vision in my dreams. And I've shared it, and I just said, I'm going to do this. Well, I started to look at every bump, as you so beautifully said, or speed bump. I would say, this is the universe either getting me to pause and stop to make sure I'm on the right path. Like I started to look at it as signs, not obstacles.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. So I'd go, oh, speed bump. Okay. Why is this portion of my journey hard? Am I pushing in my marketing? Like I would question the energy, and I was so new on the spiritual path. But it's what you said, when entrepreneurs can look at things and not create a story around them.
Yes.
And instead go, ooh, what's the message here for me? I can look back now, all those tough times I had in the first 20 years, well, let's say 15 years of being an entrepreneur. I see now it's because I didn't want to see the signs, because I was still in fear-based energy or comparison energy, which is a big thing for female entrepreneurs, or what imposter syndrome energy. I think we all struggle with that.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
You notice that with your clients too, is those?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of imposter. And I mean, we as coaches, you see their potential, you see the vision for them, and you can show it to them and you can teach them how to get there. But it really is up to them to really step into it, right? And feel like, hey, I am worthy of this.
Yeah, and it's so big. And I've always said, when people go, "Oh, you birthed Aspire magazine," I go, "No, she birthed me." And the reason is it's become my being an entrepreneur, especially with a spiritual brand, is your deepest transformational journey, as you just alluded to a moment ago.
Yes, I love that.
And I have a daily mantra, because it sounds like you have like mantras, because you tie in fun. Like when you say something, you keep bringing it back to fun. Like my daily mantra, and my clients know I have 5 media brands. I still only work 4 days a week. I take 14 weeks off a year. And my daily mantra is, oh my God, this day is flowing with ease and grace.
Yes.
Right? This project's unflowing. That is my intention for my life and for my business. Ease, grace, and flow.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that goes back to what you were talking about earlier about being intentional with your visions, with how you envision your business day unfolding. It affects everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really believe it's 80% energy and frequency and 20% strategy and action when it comes to business, or actually anything that we do. So having the right energy and the thoughts directed, you attract whatever it is that you're focused on, right? So that is very important, the 80%. But I think a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs actually miss is the 20% strategy and action. So they actually do the meditations, they do the work, they pray to their crystals or whatever. And I think what we forget to do is that 1 hour or that 20-minute morning practice that you have to bring it throughout the day. That sets you up for the day, and you embody that energy throughout the day and not just forget about it.
Ooh, that's a good one, because I think, and I do have friends and clients, and I can say I've been guilty of it. It's like, I'll do my morning meditation. Then they go right into type A energy for the rest of the day, that's not a judgment. It's a different energy, right? Mm-hmm. And they're trying to push and go, but I meditated in the morning. I set my intentions. I'm like, you didn't carry it with you.
Yes.
You're so in your head that you're disconnected from your own energy, truth, and that vision. So yeah, that's great that you see that insight too. So I want to switch the conversation and talking about crystals, and like, what do you feel makes crystals so magical? And second part is, how does someone find the right crystal? Because sometimes I still struggle with that. Sometimes they speak to me and I'm like, that's the one. Mm-hmm. And other times I can't make a decision.
Okay. So I truly believe crystals are really magical. And what we're doing right now, there's like a big crystal boom right now, huge crystal boom. And I love it because it means that we are restructuring the crystal grid on Earth, because we are currently on an evolution path, like the whole planet is, and it's just science. We really are ascending, in a spiral in the universe. And so I think with the crystal boom, we are rearranging the crystal grids on Earth to really flow into this ascension. Like, I think that's super magical. And the Earth is a star, and the crystals are part of this star magic. And so when we are part of the star, we are part of Earth. So it just naturally connects to our energy, and intention will really empower it. But like I said, if you just have a crystal by you or with you, then it can naturally and effortlessly help you start making the right decisions, or give you confidence, or help, to give you clarity on the things that you desire. Now, for finding the right crystal, when we talk about it from our crystal shop, we say, oh, if it's winking at you. So I like to say if the crystal is winking at you. And what I mean by that is if the crystal is just so beautiful, so sparkly, and you need it, that's probably the crystal for you because you're attracted to it. Now, a lot of times it won't be like the most beautiful crystal. There are some weird looking crystals out there, beautiful in its own way, right? And it might not be your favorite color. If you feel yourself keep looking at it, just like glancing at it, or it catches your eye, or if you're at a shop and you keep going back to the same section, to that same crystal, or you just have to pick it up, or if you're scrolling through, Etsy or social media and you're like, this is so beautiful, and you keep looking at it, that means that crystal is calling out to you and that it has a lesson for you.
Ooh, I love that because I'm looking at my desk right now like, ooh, I have a little cream tray filled with crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that about winking at you because that's what it's been sometimes. You just walk by and it's a knowing. And it might be 20 on the table, but the certain one, but I never thought of it that way, that it was speaking to me, right?
Yes.
So that's a fun way. And I got to tell you, I have a 10-year-old granddaughter. She has her own crystal collection.
Wow.
She's had it since she was 6. She has a memory. She can remember what each stone is. And sometimes I struggle to do that, and what it's for. And oh yeah, she absolutely loves it. And I love that one of her teachers at school, McKenna got wind that the teacher likes a crystal. So McKenna consciously picked out the teacher's Christmas gift. And the teacher was blown away because usually they get apples, pens, pencils, and McKenna presented her with a crystal. And she said, when you looked in McKenna's eyes, I knew it was a gift of love.
Wow.
And, yeah. So the teacher was blown away. So I love we got to start them early,
Yeah, kids just naturally have the intuitive connection to crystals, and from that you can see that we do too. And just like a lot of us have been programmed either by society or other people's, programming, whatever it is, whatever we heard when we're growing up, and we forget that there's this magic in nature, right? There's this magic in nature. And so we just have to come back and remember.
Exactly. And I really want to, she's magical as it is. I just want to surround her with that as she grows up. So we're going to take our next break. We'll be back in a moment with Pamela Chen, creator of the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, many others, and the author of Enchanted Crystal Magic. We'll be right back.
This is OTRFM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Are you feeling the call to unleash your feminine wisdom, hone your empathic gifts, and rise as the goddess you are? You're not alone, my beautiful friend. Crystal Cockerham, spiritual mentor and certified red tent facilitator, trained in both shamanic and priestess practices, works with awakened, empathic women around the world to unlock their shackles of pain, shame, and self-condemnation so they can reclaim their sovereignty and liberate themselves from the world's perceptions. As the founder of Wisdom Awakens and an international best-selling author, Crystal uses her own intuitive blend of spiritual midwifery and energy healing to support women on their journey of transformation. You'll find supportive guidance and community in Crystal's programs, retreats, and sacred offerings. If you're feeling the call to embrace your feminine power, learn more about Crystal's supportive services at crystalcockerham.com.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
This is Terry Van Horn, and I want to invite you to join me for my weekly radio show, Hailing Light, on OMTimes Radio, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Hailing Light, we want to bring love, light, and blessings into your world. You can find out more about us at www.healinglightonline.com. Blessings.
Me, A cat moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
This is OTR FM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Welcome back, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Conversations. With me today is Pamela Chen, business, wealth, and money manifesting coach. So right before the break, we were talking about crystals. Now, do you have specific uses for crystals in business? So let me give you an example. Like if someone wanted to manifest new clients, I do a thing that I have file folders and I get them all ready, empty file folders, and I want to call in 5. I set them up with all my other current client folders, and then I put whatever I'm led to. Sometimes it's an incense around it, sometimes it's a candle, sometimes it's a crystal. Do you have any rituals like that for the entrepreneurs listening?
Yes, there's actually a 5D client attraction exercise that I teach my clients. So they go and connect to their clients in the energetics and they bring them in, they call them in with that. So your energy, when you post, when you send out emails, when you do your stories and videos, that's what's going to attract your clients. They're going to feel your energy. So you're only going to attract the clients that is the same energy as you. So if you want a certain level of clients, right, we want these high level clients, then you need to be in that frequency. You need to be in that energy to attract them in. So I teach them how to do that. And then what I like to do to, I guess, celebrate is I'll have like a bowl of crystal, an empty bowl. And each time a client comes in, I'll add a crystal into the bowl.
Ooh, that's fun. I love that. So you keep that right on your desk?
Yes. So actually that's on my money altar.
I love that. I'm a big feng shui girl. So my whole house is feng shuied. So yeah, I love that. I love this idea. That's a fun one too, right?
Uh-huh.
So what are some of the other fun tips and strategies of how you use crystals as an entrepreneur?
So this one really works. And I talked about it. It was my first time. I accidentally discovered it, right? So if you put a citrine or smoky tower, or actually any money crystal that you're attracted to, but it worked with me with a citrine tower. If you put it on your computer or your phone, then it will attract clients. So I had one girl that overnight, I think she made $20,000. Just like I told her this, she did it and $20,000 came in. And another girl, I think she had 3 clients that signed up overnight too.
So can you repeat that? Did you say a citrine
tower?
And then what was the other one? A crystal tower?
A smoky quartz.
Smoky quartz.
I like both. So you just put it on they put it on their phone. It worked for me when I put it on my computer. So that's where we do business, right? Online business. Yes. It's always on your phone or your computer. So depending where you do the most business on, I would put this tower on top of whatever it is and just tell it. I am so thankful and grateful that I enrolled 10 clients tonight. Thank you. And so it is. It's really easy.
It's so much fun. So what would you say? So citrine, smoky quartz, what do you call the abundance crystals? Like, are there a few others that we can give them tips for?
Yes, anything green. So it's really easy. Green means money or gold means money. So there's peridot, which is my birthstone. So I love peridot. It's a green stone. There's green aventurine.
I have that one, yeah.
Green aventurine. There's pyrite, which they call fool's gold. And I think someone just did a study on it. And there's actually it's like 0.000001, but there is actual gold in pyrite, just very little.
Oh, that's fun fact.
Yeah. So pyrite is a very powerful tool with that. Clear quartz is great for amplifying the other crystals' energies. So I like to work with the clear quartz. I love working with selenite when it comes to business communications.
Oh, that's a good one. I have a selenite bar in front of
Mhm.
me. Now, when sometimes, because I'm always curious about this, like I'm just picking one of the ones. So I have I guess it's called a crystal cluster where they all stick out, almost like,
Yeah. Mhm.
okay. And then you see the round, smoother ones. I kind of love all these rough, more natural ones.
Uh-huh.
Is there a difference, or do you just pick what you're drawn to, or do you have a recommendation?
I feel it's your preference, whatever you're drawn to. I honestly have everything.
I do too. I have a mixture. I'm looking as we're talking, like I have that one. I have that one as you're speaking.
Yeah. So citrine, there's actually, let me talk about citrine. It's like one of my most favorite abundance stone because it also brings joy and energy into your business. So real citrine is like a clear, almost yellow, like a really clear pea color, I would say. And that's real citrine. And fake citrine is when they heat treat amethyst and into that dark orange or red color. That's fake citrine. Now those comes in clusters. Real citrine does not come in clusters, so you cannot buy a cluster of real citrine. Usually you just buy them as a tower. So there's a big difference in that. Both are different citrine energy. I love working with both. It's just really up to you, your preference. Some people don't like heat treated stones. I don't have a problem with that, but that's just something to keep in mind.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking and I'm writing down a list of, okay, well, I don't have that one. That's on my crystal shopping list. And so what I love about it is being surrounded with my crystals. Like sometimes, let's say I'll give you an example before we jumped on this show. I was doing my other stuff, but I had my computer open and I always put a crystal on my computer when I'm away from it. Right. And I just am intuitively drawn. Sometimes it's amethyst, sometimes it's a clear quartz. But it's just something, I don't know why it gives me peace, like keeping the energy clear around my work. Now, is that something, there's no logical reason I do that. It was just something I've always, I'd say the last 2 years, been intuitively drawn to do. It gives me peace. So it's like about finding your own rituals, right? With crystals, because then maybe that's intuitively led.
Yeah, I feel like your crystal's probably talking to you to do that.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. And so one of the other things is, we talked about, what makes crystals magical, how to find the right crystal. But something that you talk about in your work is about programming a crystal. And I'd love, yeah, so let's talk about that because that's something I don't know if I have learned.
You probably do it, Linda. You probably do it.
Knowing I do it, but might not know that I'm doing it, like intuitive, so I'd love to hear.
Yeah, so it's always better if you give something a direction, right? If you give energy a direction and not just let it go by itself. So if you just have a crystal, if you don't program it, you don't do anything with it, it's still going to help you. It's just more amplified, more powerful if you take your crystal and you program it with your intention. Now that crystal becomes like your talisman and it's like working for you, really focused on what you want to call into your life. And so you're both really working together towards the same goal.
Ooh, I like that. So again, it comes right back to intention.
Yes.
Now, so when you work with crystals yourself in your work with your clients, are you ever intuitively led? When you were talking to me earlier, you just named the Herkimer. Was that an intuitive hit you got? Is that kind of what you do with your clients? Like you're tapping into their energy?
Yes. It just kind of, a crystal just kind of pops up in my mind. And I mean, by now I should know, right? It's not just what I'm thinking, it's intuition.
Exactly.
And I know I'm just the messenger. So I deliver the message.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think that's just another powerful layer of what you do. So I know that you have some exciting news too, because you have 2 new book contracts. Is that correct? Am I
Yes.
reading that right? With Llewellyn Publishing. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about those 2 books, because my audience loves this stuff. Loves. So yeah. So tell us what's up, girl.
So the next book that is coming out, I'm actually co-writing with another money energetics business coach. She's my really good friend, Samantha Blossom, and we're both Asian. I think she's half Asian. And so we are writing an Eastern magic book.
Ooh, now that sounds
And it will have a lot of rituals and energy for you to connect with. So one of the chapters I just wrote was the prosperity frog. So you probably know all about it if you know feng shui.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
I have one.
So in this book, you will connect to all of these amazing energies and archetypes, gods, goddesses, that a lot of the Eastern magic is surrounded with.
Oh, this sounds so much fun. When's that one expected to come out?
This one, I believe, so I have the Owl Tarot coming out in 2023, and this one's coming out in 2024.
Perfect. And what's the other one I think we mentioned?
So that one is coming out in 2025. The working title is Witchcraft. So it's all about magic and manifesting money and wealth. What else would it be, right?
Yeah, be sure to stay connected and reach out to me so we can get you in the top 10 list when the books come out.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. No, because I love these topics. We're going to take a final break, Pamela, and we'll be back in a moment and continue our conversation. You're listening to Inspired Conversations. I invite you to learn more about the magical work Pamela is doing in the world at magicalpam.com. We'll be right back.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Are you being called to step into your truth and embrace your divinity? Are you ready to align your heart and soul, live an authentic life, and become a divine magnet for love and abundance? It's time to listen to your inner wisdom and clear the blocks holding you back from your best life. Leading intuitive prosperity coach, Akashic Records practitioner, and evidential medium Jamie Hearn of liveyourdivinity.com empowers and supports spiritual women like you to align your inner and outer worlds, embrace your soul's truth, and live your divinity. Through her intuitive gifts, grounded wisdom, and empowered coaching, Jamie guides women back into sacred alignment with their truth. Visit liveyourdivinity.com to learn more about Jamie's empowering programs and to schedule an Akashic record reading.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Welcome back, my friend, and you're listening to Inspired Conversation. We're talking about crystals and magic and manifestation and more with Pamela Chen. So that is so exciting for you about getting your wisdom out through books. Tell me a little bit about the work you're doing, because I know you have programs and offerings for entrepreneurs too. So I want to give you a few moments to talk about that before we begin our conversation.
What I'm currently working on now that just brings me a lot of joy. And this, like you said, was one of the, like that you have to do it mission. And it's my Money Magic Manifest program. So it is a money manifesting program, but it is deeper than that, where you go into really learning how to connect with your intuition, listen to your intuition, and again, live your life with flow, ease, and grace.
Ooh, now that one sounds fun. And they can learn about everything you're up to at magicalpam.com?
Yes.
Wonderful. So what guidance do you have that we can talk about in our last segment? Like, what is one of the key things that comes up for the entrepreneurs, the spiritual female entrepreneurs that you work with? Do you see like a core issue that consistently across the board?
Yes. So it's the messaging to their clients. So a lot of times when, I work with in the beginning, when they come into our program, I look at their posts or their emails or whatever, the messages that they're giving to call in their clients. And what's happening is they're not speaking their client's language. So because we know what they need, we talk about what they need, but it's actually not what they need. It's actually what they want. So we have to talk about their desires and surface wants instead of what we will actually help them with, so that can get them in the door. And then you can work on, the not worthy, the self-love and all of that, because we know that's needed, but that's not what your client wants. Your client wants to magically lose 10 pounds and look great in a bikini, right?
Yes.
So we have to learn what are the benefits and the transformations that you will provide your clients. So I teach high ticket sales, which is anywhere from selling programs and offers $2,000, $10,000, $20,000. So in order to transition from I charge $100 for an hour session to high ticket programs that creates deeper level transformation, you have to know what the benefits are that you're providing, the results that you're providing from your clients, and not I will be giving you crystal healing or Reiki, or we will be doing readings, or we will be on the phone for an hour. So instead, we have to give them the results that's going to create, their next level life.
Ooh, I love that, because I noticed that too with a lot of my sacred visibility clients, which they're all coming to me. It's both. It's mindset around the wounds that are causing them to hide, right? I have a business, but you want me to do what? You want me to talk about it? But at the flip side, that is something that I see over and over again. They use a lot of I language, right? Like, I will do this for you. I. But the client, the person on the other end, wants to hear, they want language that speaks to them. So that sounds like that's what you were referring to in their messaging and marketing, is speak to their wants. They don't care about the details of the program as much as they care about what the program will do for them.
Yes, if you can show them and have them imagine, and they can feel and see the results that you can provide them with a program, then that's when they're like, yes, here's my credit card. The only thing is you have to be very careful, because you can't promise them what you can't deliver. So you have to make sure that you can deliver whatever the results are.
Yeah, you can't just exactly. You can't just throw words down on a page because they sound good. You have to actually deliver those results.
Yes, you have to. Yes, you have to. And I think, for a smaller transformational container, let's just say a 1 day VIP day, my private client just asked me, well, how can I promise the result here, because it's only 1 day? So with those type of offers, what you can say is, I will help you start. I will help you begin your journey. I will help you create your first blueprint. and you can't heal them in one day, right? I mean, you can if they believe,
Yeah.
but most likely you're just helping them start on their journey. You're creating a blueprint for them so that they can have a plan to the results that they desire.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the integrity of it too.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone was to visit your website, where would you believe they should start? Do you have a free offering that they could begin with?
Yes, so I am creating everything in the next couple of months. Basically, where they would start could be with my book. So the Crystal Magic book, it has so much, it's not just about crystals, but it has so much information about manifesting, about creating your desired life. And even if you don't use crystals with it, you'd be okay. So I'd say start with the book, and I will have a couple free offerings rolling out soon. I do a lot of lives. So I do a lot of live free events. So actually I don't know when this is going to be aired, but in March, I am going to be hosting a 3-day free event with my really good friend. And so I just love doing free retreat days or a free webinar and all that to help promote my programs.
Oh, I think that's fun. And I love attending that kind of stuff because there's so much juicy content. And I want to invite everyone, visit magicalpam.com to learn more about her programs and, of course, to grab a copy of her book, Enchanted Crystal Magic. So talk about how you got into, because we still have a little time left, how you got into creating tarot cards, because you have like the Crystal Unicorn, the Witchling, the Owl. Well, that one's coming out right in 2023. So what turned you on? I'm looking at your photo now holding a deck of one of your cards. So what got you started doing that?
So let's go back to when I was a teenager. So I was 16 in Barnes and Nobles. I was like, oh, tarot. And I bought a deck. I think it was a fairy deck. And I tried to read it and it didn't make sense. So I stopped. And then I think moving from Hawaii to Vegas was what really started my spiritual journey. And around, I think it was the age of 20, I started to get really into all the magic. And that's when I started taking classes and stuff. And tarot was one of them. And I started to, back then, right, there was no internet. There was no Instagram. Nobody taught you how to read tarot. There was no such thing. You had to go read books or you had to take a live in-person class. And so when I learned how to read tarot, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And I started to do it for other people. And so I did a little business on readings, and that was really fun. I just knew that it wasn't my, full calling. It might've been a step to where I am now, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And so that's how I got really into tarot. And then 2018, a little bit before that, I tried to create a deck. It just was not a full deck. It didn't work. There was no structure in that deck. And whatever, I created it and it was fun. And it just kind of sat at my house. And then in 2018, I wanted to create a unicorn tarot because there was none out there. Nobody had a unicorn tarot. And so I messaged my mentor who also created decks. And she was like, yeah, I'll help you create your tarot deck. And as I was creating it, she's like, you need to sell this. So I was like, okay, let's crowdfund it, because Kickstarter was really, starting to get really popular then. And that's what I did. And I didn't realize how many people would actually buy it. Like, it was a surprise to me, but it was a good surprise. And I never was really like, I want to create tarot for a living. It was fun and I loved it. And I just kind of like fell into it. And then a lot of people messaged me, how did you create your deck? I want to create a deck. So me and my mentor created a deck creation course, which did very well, and people came in and learned how to create deck creation. And I always love learning and doing with my students. And so I created Witchling Academy Tarot during the class. And my mentor was like, let's submit it to Llewellyn. So I submitted to Llewellyn, that was another journey itself. And they took it. I think I got really lucky. I got in and they took the deck. And ever since then, they've just been really supportive of me as a new creator, a new writer, because I never finished college. I don't even remember writing an essay. So it was all from, actually learning how to write business copies.
Yeah.
So
magical manifesting and setting your intention, my friend.
Yeah. And that's how I really got in. And from there, once you're part of the family, Llewellyn is great. And, I just contacted Barbara Moore, who's my manager and project manager. And I would like, hey, what about this? The Tarot of Owls is the official name. The artist is Elizabeth Alba. She did Everyday Witch Tarot. So that's coming out. We just finished on it, really. We got the book cover and everything, the deck cover. So it's really cool. And I also have Steampunk Fairy Tarot that's coming out in 2025.
I am so excited for everything that you are offering the world, and for a woman like me and my listeners on the path of self-discovery. I want to say thank you for joining me here today, Pam. And I want to invite everyone, please, swing by magicalpam.com, stay in touch with her, with Pamela and everything she is doing in the world.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Linda.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad we're connected, and I can't wait to watch everything unfold for you, my friend.
Yes.
Until next time, my friends, choose love, choose joy, choose happiness. Blessings, everyone.
Thanks for listening to Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy. Join our sacred space every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern and meet leading female visionaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. Inspired Conversations with Linda Joy is a soulful venue where guests share the obstacles they've overcome, along with wisdom and lessons learned on their personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic and soulful living.